Good evening, good morning, good day. Let me just make sure the chat is on. There we go. All right. Yeah. So, hi, I am John Harder, and my website is Crypto-TBC.com. You know, and today's hangout in this stream, live stream, this is my first episode on the worth of things. Now, if you're wondering why I chose that title, it is because I think that too often we probably don't put enough thinking into considering what things are worth, or we don't even bother questioning how was the price arrived at, how what did people what methods did they use to figure out the worth of something. And I believe that can be I expect that there could be somebody in the chat, and I am not seeing anybody. I'm gonna type. I don't know. I'm not sure, because yesterday there had been people there, and they weren't. I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell at all if there was anyone there or not, and so I thought maybe if there is, I'd be able to. Well, I actually thought I had it fixed last night, and if I did, then I guess there's nobody there. But if I didn't, then I mean, if there's somebody there, then obviously it's still not working correctly. Anyway, all right. So I'm going to continue, finish this session anyways, this stream, and then I'll have to find out later to see if it's not working or what the deal is. All right. So the worth of things, right? The reason I'll tell you right flat out why I chose that for that title for this series, the series of episodes that I'm going to be doing on the worth of things, because I've talked to actually mostly it's from comments on Facebook, on YouTube videos, and so on, that were posted for TBC, and people posting saying that TBC isn't worth anything, and then they've got their reasons, of course, and well, you know, how do you really, why would you arrive at that type of a, you know, decision that it's not worth anything, right? Well, the only reason is ignorance, is because they don't know. They obviously um, don't understand why TBC was created, what it is to solve, how TBC works. Not so much how it works as the fact that it what gives it the price. That's what I meant to say, is what, you know, what does give it the price. And of course, you know, people base value on many different ways, on things. And uh, one thing that people fairly commonly seem to use is like, let the market decide. And well, what market will decide the price? Let's say you go into a hardware store and you're looking to buy a chainsaw. I'm not sure why I would pick chainsaw, but I guess I used to do quite a bit of wood cutting, and you know, and I've had various, you know, various kinds of chainsaws and stuff, and you know, I went through a few saws until I learned which ones are actually the good, you know, the better saws. And quite surprisingly, the best chainsaw I ever had, which is still, and I believe that those saws are, well, they're considered, you know, a very durable saw. That they're considered that. Those, and I believe John's Red. I don't know. There may be others, but those are two of them that I have known to, that are to be quite tough. Well, so the value on things. So from that experience of that viewpoint of a chainsaw, there really isn't that much difference in price between the what's considered the cheaper ones, which I bought at first and kept on having trouble with, and ended up getting rid of it and buying a different one. I I don't remember what my second one was, and that too wasn't that great a one. And then the next one that I bought was a still, and that one I actually had for quite a number of years. And as inexpensive as those things are, they still really wasn't that much more money than the others, in my opinion. And yet it was a very good durable tool. But you hear quite easily, you hear people say, well, you get what you pay for. That's a fairly common phrase, and I'm not saying that that's never true, but that ain't always true. That ain't not It's not always true. I know that. But then when you price things, how do you arrive at a price? How do you decide which coin is worth something, which cryptocurrency is worth something, or which one isn't worth anything? Well, in the obviously in the cryptocurrency market, if you go and uh, and browse you know the coin uh, exchanges and sites like that, you soon you soon see all the different prices of the coins. Some of them have been higher once, or sometimes most of them have been higher, and then then they all go down quite a bit. And and you look at the whole picture and you wonder which one is actually worth something. Which one is actually a good coin. And well, there would be various determining factors as to which one is very good, right? It depends on what you're looking for. Like let's say, if you're looking for privacy, you want a coin where the transactions are stealth or hidden or whatever. They don't show up, or they don't, the ledger is not an open ledger like in like Bitcoin, the way Bitcoin is created and so on, that it's an open ledger and anyone can see. Of course, nothing can be changed, but it's still an open ledger. And well, so then what would be the concern? Like, let's say you're looking for a coin that is private, that has the transactions they're under the radar. They are not detected, or they are encrypted to, with very high encryption, and so you could never tell what was transferred, as well as the blockchain. And some of them you also can't browse the blockchain to, or the data is encrypted in the blockchain too. I'm not quite sure which really is the how exactly these coins are. I don't actually know that, and I don't understand programming, so I don't really know exactly how these things are private or stuff like that. But I have heard that there is coins with very high levels of privacy. Okay, which are I think Monero is probably the highest, or maybe TokenPay now, which is the newer one. And yet these coins are in the exchanges. Now, Monero, I believe, is fairly high. I haven't checked. I never had any. Doesn't mean I don't want any. I might get some eventually. Actually, I believe I will. Or Zcash, or Zcash, as the Americans would probably call it. Also is apparently a private coin. And then TokenPay, as I understand, has a higher level of privacy than either of the others. And now, myself, I would like the coin with the highest level of privacy, and for the simple reason that it can't be spied on and traced and all that by governments. I've said it before in other videos that as far as I'm concerned, now you may vary, you may differ with me on this. You might not agree with me, but my opinion is that government is completely unnecessary. Completely unnecessary. We can easily govern ourselves as people. We don't need somebody, a third party, to rip off of every transaction we do just so that they can dominate us. Really? Is that makes you happy? Well, anyways, that's my take on that. I just don't believe that that's necessary, and if there was enough of us that would not believe that to be necessary, then we wouldn't have. We would govern ourselves and make decisions on our own. We wouldn't have somebody that would tell us what to do, because we would determine that for ourselves, what we wanted to do. And you know, and if whatever roads, whatever things that need to be done, we get together as a community and say, hey guys, what are we going to do here? And you reach a conclusion between people, and then you move forward and you know, together fund whatever you want to fund. Like, I mean, let's think about this for a wee bit. Let's think about it for a wee bit. You want to do some renovations on your house, and then you have to have a permit for all the things that you want to do, telling exactly everything you want to do, and then they can tell you whether that's good enough or not, or whether you can even do it. And as far as you're concerned, it's your house. Now, although there's another aspect to all this that most people do not understand. Most people do not understand how the world actually works, how, you know, where all this is, how is this smoke and mirror system that puts all the people in jail that should be free, and the ones that the criminals that should be in jail, they're out, they're free. They are they do, for them everything is legalized. But the people that should be out doing good in the world as they would if they were out, those are put in prison. So it's really a well, let's put it this way anyways. It is extremely rare that a person that is put in prison actually belongs there. Extremely rare. Most of the time, when somebody does something stupid and they get put in prison for it, there's way more behind it than just what that person did. There's way more behind it. Anyway, let's leave that at that. What we're talking about is the price of things. So it takes me again to how do we justify as people? How do we justify the local economy collapsing? The jobs are siphoned away from local economy, and people have to drive distance to be able to work somewhere. And the local stores disappearing, local businesses, they're disappearing. Everything gets in a chain, gets for instance, you take Burger King, you take McDonald's, you take Tim Hortons, you take all of these chains. Everything it seems to be organized with huge chains these days. Why is that? Why is that? I mean, let's give that some real considerable thought. Why is that? If you haven't thought about that, what is behind that concept, and what happens to local businesses, local economies due to these type of chains? I was going to say blockchains, but these type of chain businesses. Just use what you have up there for a little bit and think about that. What does that do to all of the local economies? For instance, all of the produce that these things that they serve in those type of restaurants is all pre-made. There's nothing about it that's fresh. None of that food is fresh. It's all pre-packaged, and then, well, I shouldn't say that there isn't, that nothing of it is fresh. I don't know to what extent exactly, but practically all of it. Like it's all made, pre-made, frozen and packaged and da da da. And all that happens is in the restaurant, it gets heated up for you and packaged in a nice little package, and away you go. And what's in it then? Well, there's all kinds of poisons that are being put into these foods to keep them preserved fresh, so they still, that they'll taste fresh, even if they, probably sat in a freezer somewhere for a couple of years, who knows. And there's all of this trucking to all of these large companies. It's all a lot of trucking. Now, I know delivery is always, there's always necessary for some delivery, but let's give this some, let's understand what would the difference be between what's the way everything has been organized now versus if we had our things local. Let's say we had local butcher shops, which there are some, but I mean local. Not where you drive a half hour or 20 minutes to the butcher shop. I'm talking about local. And also with all kinds of small local business, local shops, like all sorts of business. There's many niches. There's many things that we need to comfortably live and have a comfortable life, of course. And but now we've got these chains. So people line up at Tim Hortons. Okay, big chain. Where does the money go? Well, everybody gets whatever they made. They get it and they spend it. They spend, well, maybe not very much of their money at Tim Hortons, but what I'm saying is very many people spend money at Tim Hortons. All over the place in all of the small communities, there are Tim Hortonses spread out, and the money goes there. Where does it go from there? Well, it definitely isn't going to stay local. From there, it gets channeled to a huge corporation. The huge corporation. How does this work? Why is it that some companies get so huge that they dominate everything, and the small areas you can't seem to, it doesn't justify to run a small business? What are we doing to ourselves, people? What are we doing to ourselves? Well, the local economies are suffering. Businesses are dying. People have to travel much further for work. Many are left out of work. They have to scratch around and try to make a living somehow. And in the meantime, these huge corporations, they're taking money out of here. And it just makes me wonder, where does it have to go? How far do we let it go before we wake up and smell the coffee? Smell that wow, we gotta start a new day. We gotta start doing something. We gotta start fixing this. Now, here's what happens. The central banks, they have the entire thing rigged in a way that the vice gets tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. The tightest on the working class. Those who don't own businesses, but the working class. the vice is the tightest. And of course, small businesses, you know, it's risky. It's very risky to start a small business in this system. And because it is a smoke and mirror system, that's why it's been rigged like that. And there is a very specific reason for it. And that is to slowly squeeze tighter and tighter and tighter. That there will be a point where everything has been sucked out. We will have nothing left to stand on. But we are people. We have intelligence. Are we not smart enough to see what's going on? Are we not capable of building our own local communities and have them strong, supporting each other in business? Well, to do that, we have to stop sending our money to big chains. We have to stop supporting Costco, Walmart, McDonald's, and I don't want to judge and tell everybody that you have to do this, you have to do that, but what I'm saying is this: how long are we going to do that, to keep pinching our own economy tighter and tighter? How long? How long are we willing to put up with that? And not only that, but then those extortion fees that we're paying, called taxes. So, okay. My point about all of this is that those chains, they make this food and stuff in mass production and very fast, and it's loaded with stuff that it's also very cheap and not very healthy. People with a local restaurant with say where you get your food or your meat from the butcher shop, you pay local people, local farmers, local greenhouses, whatever it is, for the goods that you bake your own bread. You don't order it in from Toronto or California or whatever, but you bake it right there or at the bakery next door. Sorry, there is no bakery. Sorry, that's right. There is no bakery. There's a McDonald's, and there's Pizza Hut, and that's right. There's all these chains. We don't have a local bakery. That's correct. Oh, right. I was talking about creating one. Right. That's it. Okay. Well, sorry about that horrible confusion here. I was talking about creating one. Have a local bakery. Everything local. These mass production, that the way it has been set up, everything mass production, to get it, to produce it as cheap as possible, and then soak the money out of the general public and channel it to the large corporations, from which it goes to the central banking system, and they dominate us. Are we really not smart enough to figure that out? And if you are new to this concept and you are not aware how the central banking system works and what they do and what their plans are, boy, oh boy, you need to educate yourself. You need to educate yourself, because what their plans are, that ain't good. That ain't good. Not for you and me. not for you and me. We need to stand up to these banksters, to the banking cartel. The banks, the central banks, are behind everything the way the system is rigged. Everything. Everything. And now, of course, now that the coins that the cryptocurrency, now they're getting their fingers into that already too. To regulate, we have to have regulations. Really? Really? Folks, this was the reason TBC was created. That's why TBC was created. Because TBC was created to end world hunger. To end world hunger. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited about that. Because TBC is not in the exchanges. It's a private private but not so private coin. But no, it's a private community. And the price of our coin is based on the decisions of people. Well, first of all, let me say it this way. Everything that's priced, it doesn't matter what the price is. Someone made a decision that that was the price. Someone. In stores, it's usually a couple of people or whatever that decide the price for everybody. For everybody that comes into the store and so on. They decide the price. As a store owner or manager or whatever they are, they decide what the price is for everybody. Our coin, however, Crypto-TBC, not Crypto-TBC. That's not really a coin. It's a coin. It's my website for the information. But TBC is a coin that has the software on it has been programmed that the coin goes up in price every day according to how many people, how many new people, users start using the coin, and that's how it goes up in price. And then, of course, it goes up until it reaches one ultimate price, which is 1 billion euros per coin. And when it reaches that price, it locks in at that price, and that is the price it stays at. Okay, so getting TBC, you'll never lose anything. You'll never lose because it never goes down. And so that way the price goes up to that, and that's where it will stay. It's where it will lock in and stay at that price. Now, if you are interested in helping to end world hunger, then get some TBC. Getting some TBC is very, very, very profitable right now. Very profitable. And I give it as a free gift. To get started, you can get a free gift of TBC. Now with TBC, we do it different with the wallet. Instead of keep on charging always for the transaction, we have it, it's a one-time upfront $10 fee per wallet, $10 fee for the wallet, and that's the lifetime that pays for the wallet. And then no fees for the transactions. Now, there needs to be something to offset the expenses of the programming and all that goes in to creating the system. And that's what the $10 wallet fee covers. And then, of course, now while we're in the wealth building stage, we do have the marketing system, which is the Kringle.cash site. And what that does is that's the program we use to promote, and that's where we give you the free coin to get started. You get free coin. And right now, this free coin, and of course the gift that you get always keeps going up in price as well, as long as the coin goes up. And it's a gift of 25,000 Kringles, which is, I don't know, it's around $800 or something like that now, maybe 900, somewhere around there is what that gift is worth. So with that said, I'm going to sign off just after I give you a wee bit of information yet. Crypto-TBC is my website. It's in the description under this video. And also, I want to encourage you, take some time to educate yourself what kind of a system this world runs on right now. Because I have in the description also a link that where you can really learn about what's driving this world now, and also as well as what we can do about it to regain our own local economy and to be stronger again. Thank you so much for watching this video, and with that said, I'm signing off. Peace.